Oh, good morning, everyone. It's Friday, May 7th. It's a little after 8:30 here in the morning, and I haven't done a video in a while. Uh, just been really busy just trying to survive here. It's been over 1 year and 1 month since this pandemic hit, and we're still underneath a 50% capacity restriction, meaning that we have 24 tables, we only got 12. And so that's cut our income in half. And but the bills are still up there. So between the rent, the electricity, and the water, that those costs don't change. So it took 98.5% of this business to pay all the bills. And what was left over out of that, what's left out of that was for us. But there's nothing there, and we've actually been taking a loss pretty well every month. But we're able to pay the rent, stay ahead in utilities, and pay our staff. So we've been told that maybe by September things might ease up. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Um, but a couple of weeks ago, we we kicked out one of our longtime cooks. We just had enough. He's been, during this pandemic when things were locked down, this guy manages to go out and get drunk and not show up to work. And, I got so many people here depending on this place that work here to feed their families. And this guy just didn't care about nobody but himself. So I kicked him to the curb. It's just not. And he took us to the labor board. But when we went to the labor board, had a meeting, his case was thrown out because it was quite obvious that he's just a bum. That's all he is. We've tried to help this guy for uh, I don't know, 11, 12 years. We put up this guy in his garbage, and he does have talent. He can cook, but his the way he came in the morning, if he had a bad night, the food was garbage. You see, I mean, that's it. It really, his attitude was reflected in what was left over on the table. And in this time, you can't be doing that. So I had enough of the guy. I had enough. I just said, I was polite, diplomatic about it. He just came to the door, and I just said, no more. Bye bye. That was it. Gone. So Sherry, my wife, is back cooking, and she's very good at it. And right away, the sales were very good. Our LPG, liquefied petroleum gas, it lasted 2 days longer. The stock, we were getting longer out of our stock, like sugar, salt, and everything, because the guy just didn't care. He just didn't care. So when you have somebody who has something invested into it, well, it makes a big difference. So of course our sales shut up a little bit too. Customers started talking. They got the cell phone. Hey, come down here. The food's good. So that brought lots of people in, and we had lineup. We had lineups. And I'll put a couple of videos on there just to prove that. After this one here about the issue of capacity, we have people lined up outside waiting to get in. So the problem is our capacity. Everything else is good. The price of stuff is still high. Chicken is still double what I used to get before the pandemic. Uh, Beef has gone high. Even our carabao, they're trying to, I get it for a very good price. I get it for $2.25 a kilo. But another supplier, they're at $2.60, trying to put it right to you. There's no end to the greed. And they'll use this pandemic as an excuse. Oh, but it's just, when your God is money, c'est la vie. So that's what makes it difficult. So I've been sourcing around, and I've been able to get. I want to get my ribs back on the table. People really love those, I'm just waiting. I'm trying to get the price down. I got it close. I think I can get it for about 230 per kilo, which will really help. I think I can do it with that. We were at 220 before. We could make a profit on it, but uh, most people are pretty good. They understand. They're out there. They got to buy. They see that things have increased, and we had to do an increase on our meals, but we kept it to a minimum. Uh, you know, we've had people who customers for 11, 12 years, and they keep on coming back. We're grateful to all the support that we've got. We can consider ourselves very fortunate because there's a lot of restaurants that are finished. They even now they're dropping like flies because you can't do it on 50% capacity. You just can't do it. No matter if you got people all day long, you just can't do it. The bills, the rent is in these places around here now is getting crazy. And the landlords, they're not doing much. You hear the odd good story of a landlord, he'll give you 2 or 3 months free rent to make, I take my hat off to those guys. But you got others in here that, like the one we're renting off, they won't do nothing for you, nothing at all. So, and we're still like 2.5 months behind in our rent. But if nothing else, I can say, well, at least they're not trying to put the pressure on me to pay that because it's just not there. It's just not going to happen. So everything else we're managed to stay on top of the staff wage, everything we're able to stay on top. But we've cut a lot of things out. So I wanted to give Sherry a little bit of a break. Have somebody work with her that could be like some sort like a prep cook. So I put an ad on Facebook Market, and in one day I had 100 replies. But we got a reply from one guy who used to be a cook here. He was in here twice, and he's quite a character, I got to tell you. This guy could cook, and he could do like garnishing and all that. He could do that. But I go inside. He loved to sleep. He was a sleeper. I go in, I got a 4-door chiller inside the kitchen. I go in there one day. He's got the doors open and he's like this here inside the chiller. And then upstairs here, before this was all a 4-bedroom apartment, it was just 4 walls. And I was doing work. I did my tables up here, refinished them all. And so I had a chair up here. Well, I caught him up here one day sleeping. Oh, he was having a good old snooze. So out the door he went. I had enough of that. But anyway, Sherry kept on talking with this guy through the years, and he went abroad and everything. And you figured, that some people would pick up some good habits because, going abroad, the standard is not the same as here. You have to toe the line, or else you're sent back on whatever plane or boat you came on. So he replies to the ad. Well, wow, this is because we're only offering minimum wage. That's it. That's all we can do. Our staff were at one point getting above minimum wage, but we had to bring it down. And we're very grateful for that. But when things turn around, we'll crank it back up. But right now, it's been a year and a month plus where we're. So this guy applies for the position of prep cook. So, he must be joking. I said, well, I'll give him a call. So she gave him a call, and sure enough, man, he was serious. He wanted the job. Well, we were going to go above and beyond, and we were going to provide him with a place to stay. And he has a family. He doesn't live in Davao. It's outside of Davao. And we were going to provide him with a place, paid room, and plus we were flexible on the time that he wanted to work. We're open 6 days a week, Monday to Saturday. Close a little bit early on Saturday. But if he wanted, and he's got family, so we understand that. So if he only wanted to work Monday to Friday, we were good with that, and give him some money for transportation home. And we thought, we thought we were being very fair. He said, "Okay, sounds good. I'll be there Monday." So he was supposed to come on Sunday to get all settled in the place. Well, it was 10 or 11 o'clock. It was late Sunday. We got a text from this guy saying that he's not coming. And the reason being is he's found religion, right? And so his pastor didn't want him to take the job. So I hope his pastor's going to be around to feed his kids and pay the bills. That's all I can say. But he won't ever be back in here again. I can promise you that. Just remember that, buddy. All right? Times are still going to get pretty tough. So that ends that chapter with that character. And then we had another guy come in here. I'll just use his first name, Mr. Wendell. And so this guy, I was downstairs, and this guy dropped off his application. I said, "Are you applying?" So I looked at his application. Okay, we'll keep it on file. We have a guy that's supposed to start on Monday, so the position's already been filled. And I said, but I might know somebody that's looking to hire somebody with prep cook experience, and I'll pass your name on. So okay. So I come back inside and I put the application in the folder, and look, he's still hanging around. And then he's still hanging around more. So I go back outside and just chat with him a little bit. And this guy hasn't had work in a year. He's been doing odd jobs like vulcanizing. He's been in construction, and but it was just short-term work. And then as I got talking to him, he's telling me that he's getting pretty desperate now. He's got suicidal thoughts, and I go, oh geez. So I go in and talk with Sherry. I said, Sherry, you better take a look at his application and see if there's anything that we can do. I know we already hired somebody. This is before we got the nice note saying not coming. So at that time we had already hired somebody. So we're trying to figure, how can we do this? Geez, we don't want to take. We don't want to hear the next day that somebody floating in the in the water. It kind of weighs on your mind a little bit. So Sherry had a talk with him, and then we sat down together, and we agreed that we try and find some way. We're just going to take it day by day. We'll give him a job. So Wendell did show up for work. And he's all right. He needed some. He wasn't the cleanest in the world. Coming from another. He was getting a very high wage before, and I don't know if they had somebody that was a cleaner. He just had a certain position, and he didn't have to clean, but he really had to be taught how to be clean. And yeah, it's just a little bit of attitude. And then we talked with his boss, and his boss said that he had a pride issue. And I kind of figured, well, he's had it pretty rough for the last year. Maybe his pride got tamed down a little bit. And it was about a week and a half, and he was late for work. Now, this guy's on like probation. We bent over backwards to give this guy a job, and he shows up late, 15, 20 minutes late for work. I hate that. It just drives me nuts. I deduct people here. You come in late, it's 50 pesos. That's like that would be $1 American, and then I ding you 2 pesos a minute after that, until your day's wage is gone, basically. I have no problem doing that, and I do it regularly. But I shouldn't say that regularly because I don't have a problem anymore. That solved the problem. People are 15 minutes early to work here. So it does work. That's one thing I found here is deductions. They hate them. They do not like them. So I use that. And I deduct people if they, I fire people. I catch you coming out of that bathroom and you don't wash your hands, you're automatically gone. You're gone, so gone. I don't even see your shadow anymore. But other things, if your manners, you bump into somebody on the floor, a customer, you don't say, I'm going to ding you. You're going to ding you. You're going to learn your lesson. So anyway, that was it. After a week and a half, Wendell's late for work. And he's had the issue not wearing his shield when coming out of the kitchen. I require that because I require customers to wear a shield if they're coming up to the serving counter. It's a protection for them. It's a protection for my staff. My staff all wear them. We wear them 9 hours a day. We wear these things. Yes, they're hot and they're uncomfortable, but you know what? We're still alive. And we have respect for life. And we've had a lot of people come in here that don't have respect, and we don't serve them. We send them away. But I won't do it. I don't take the risk. So now we have today. That's why I figured, I'll make a video today because I got something to say. Mr. Wendell didn't show up to work today. No, sir, please, I need a job. I got suicidal tendencies, sir. I need a job. And that's one of the big issues you will find in this country is to get good people. I've been here 16 plus years, and I could count on two hands the people that were able to make it to work regularly, and if they didn't, they'd call and let us know ahead of time. That's it. And we hired a lot of people throughout the years. 10 people I could name them that were consistent, that had consideration for their employer, and so this is what you get here. So now I have a total of 180 people that applied for this one position. Now, like I said, I only offer minimum wage and the meals. And at the end of the day, if there's like leftover vegetable or something we can't use in the next day, like a meat with a sauce in it, because that it tastes better the next day. The sauce is soaked into the meat, so we use that. But we'll divide that up between the staff so they have something in the evening. And he's just thrown that all away. He just threw it all away. And so for me, people like that, they don't know what it's like to be hungry. I know what it's like to be hungry. Yes, I'm from Canada, but I know what it's like to be hungry. And I survived on peanut butter for quite a while. So I know the pains you get in your stomach and the jobs that you will take in order to be able to put food on the table. But I don't know what the issue is here. I really don't. It's really sad. The quality of people that you get is you really have to, for 100 people you may get 5. That's based on my experience. Some others may have something different here, but based on my experience. So it's really a lot of trial and a lot of error to get really good people. And when you get good people, you really have to make sure you look after them because they're rare. And so the people I have working here now, I'm down to 5 staff. These are good, dependable people, and I look after them well. And if and when things improve here, I will make sure that I let them know that I appreciated their sacrifice that they made. I'll go out sometimes and we'll buy them some Dairy Queen ice cream, or I'll make them up a pizza or something like that. It's just I need them to know that we really appreciate them being, good employees. So that's just the what's been going on here for the last while. We have this other young fella that we've known for a while. He's having a hard time finding work. We may give him a job just as a table cleaner, and I'll put my boy back in washing dishes here for a while. We'll see what happens there, but we try to help out where we can. It's a two-way street. You help me, I help you. You get a wage, you get benefits, and you're able to look after yourself and maybe somebody else, or you contribute to your family being able to put food on the table. So we still have a long ways to go here. We still have to make it to September underneath these restrictions. So I'm not a vlogger. I don't post here every day. It's just once in a while, um, just giving people an update of the things that are going on here. So you folks all take care out there. Take this COVID-19 seriously. It's no joke. It only takes one person to infect a lot of people, and then you got big problems. The vaccine here, I don't see any rolled out until maybe late this year, maybe early next year. And I'm not really concerned about it because as a family here, we're taking a lot of vitamin D, taking the zinc, uh, B complex, all that other stuff, and we're keeping ourselves in good shape. And we take precautions. We're always washing our hands. We're wearing the face mask and the shield. And the best thing about our place is we have major ventilation. We have 5 fans down there going full blast, and that air is moving. So take, for example, if anybody's, like what you see right now, no mask on, and if I sneeze, that cloud is dissipated really quick to nothing. So the viral load is very, very small. So that, I think, was what been a saver in our place. And plus, we're just sanitizing the tar out of this place all the time. I do outside. Every morning it's done. It's sanitized every morning. We sanitize the floor at least 6, 7 times a day. Everything else is wiped down, all the knobs, bathrooms, everything. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of extra cost, but you know what? Who can put a price on the value of life? And the sad thing is we have a lot of customers that don't put a value on life. Well, and we try to make it as easy as possible for them to come in, but like if you walk up to our place with your face mask and shield on, the first thing is you check your QR code is recorded, you check your temperature, little alcohol, and you're gone. It's like 2 seconds. But then you get these other people, well, how am I going to eat with my face mask and shield on? That's the look I give them. Right? They get the look. I said, you really want me to answer that question? Really? And some people don't even want to take their temperature. Don't you walk away. Don't even want to take the temperature. These are people that have no respect for life whatsoever. None. And there's a lot of them. And it makes business extremely difficult. And you got to explain and this, explain that. Every day we got to explain. So we are looking for the relaxing of restrictions. We are looking forward to the vaccine rollout if and when it ever happens. You're in a country here that's got a wild reputation, so who knows when this is going to happen. Anyway, that's enough of my ranting and raving for today. You folks, again, you all take care of one another. Have consideration for one another. Remember, we're all in this boat together, so think about the person next to you and take the needed precautions so we can get over this quickly and together. All right? Take care, folks.